Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osman. In today's episode, we get a sneak peek at the race medals for the Daytona Beach Half Marathon. We'll learn about a new survey that aims to improve the health of Volusia County residents, and we'll get the details on SunRail's discounted fare program. In the Business Beat, Joanne Magley introduces us to a new business in Daytona Beach. In Community Health Matters, Stephanie Strong will have her report from the Volusia County Health Department. And finally, joining Community Information Director Dave Byron in the studio is John Owens with the Volusia County Fair. Those segments, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. Stay tuned. The Daytona Beach Half Marathon is a few months away, but running enthusiasts can get a look at one of the biggest perks of the race, the finisher medal. Organizers for the February 7th event, presented by Florida Hospital and Brown & Brown Insurance Incorporated, have unveiled the medal designs for the 2016 Half Marathon, two-person half marathon relay, and the 3.1-mile 5K lap, the track finishers. The half marathon and the relay medal is 4.5 inches wide, and the 5K medal is 3.5 inches wide. Everyone who finishes the race will receive a medal.
As you can see, this is a prototype of the new medal that we'll come up with, and we call it the bling is back. You know what I mean? People love, I've run for a long time. The medal's always been important as a keepsake when everything else fades away. It really just reminds you of an accomplishment. So what we did here is the new medal captures that. And what you're trying to do is why are we unique? What it captures the idea of the race theme from being that's the start and the end is at the ISC track, the International Speedway, where we hold the 500 right at that racetrack. Together with, you see little running shoes because it's all about running. You see the little wave in the beach because this is the bit down from the speedway to the beach and back. And because we have hard-packed sand here, you can run on the beach, which most cases you can't. It's very difficult, hard on you. Here, it's a joy, okay? So we run you from the speedway down to the beach.
Volusia County government is partnering with the Daytona International Speedway to stage the annual event. In addition to the finisher medals, awards will be given to overall men's and women's winners with the top 3 males and females in each age category. Everyone who participates in one of the races will get to sit down to a pancake breakfast and will have a chance to win several raffle prizes, including the grand prize of 2 round-trip JetBlue airline tickets. Early bird registration through November 30th is $75 for the Daytona Beach Half Marathon, $60 for the Half Marathon Relay, and $20 for the 3.1-mile lap the track. For more information or to register, you can go online to DaytonaBeachHalf.com. In the next few months, community leaders from Volusia and Flagler counties will be reviewing the health needs of the area to determine where to focus funding and services. And they're asking for the public's help in the form of a 5-minute online survey that's available online at communityhealthsurvey.com. Residents are being asked questions on the survey that addresses health issues, unhealthy behaviors, healthcare services that are difficult to obtain, and personal barriers to obtaining healthcare services. The Community Health Survey is used nationwide as a tool to help build a healthier community through the planning.
The survey is going to be looking for your perceptions of health, what barriers you're facing, how do you perceive health access here in Volusia County. So this 5-minute survey asks 21 questions that will really help us gauge your perception of your access to care here in Volusia County. The information that you provide us will be taken directly to these stakeholders, these community partners, who will be able to make the decisions, the funding decisions on how to improve health here in Volusia County. So your input is vital to this process. We hope that you'll take time, 5 minutes out of your schedule, to take this survey and really make an impact on the health and the quality of life that all of us have here in Volusia County.
One Voice for Volusia coordinates a coalition that connects nonprofit, government, and community-based organizations along with local businesses to promote system and community improvements for the benefit of the public. To take the survey, you can go online to communityhealthsurvey.com. Senior citizens and students now have another incentive to take the SunRail commuter train for their travel needs. SunRail has introduced 50% discounts to its prepaid fare cards. The discounts apply to seniors aged 65 and older, students ages 7 to 17, and disabled riders. These new discounts apply to prepaid cards where riders use a credit or debit card to load a fixed amount of money onto the card.
What's nice about the preloaded card is you don't necessarily have to buy it for a time period. It offers you quite a bit of flexibility. So in other words, from Volusia County to make a round trip to, let's say, downtown Orlando and back, that's usually $7.50. So if you're eligible here, you could do that for half price.
There are several ways commuters can purchase SunRail passes. Day passes are available for riders who use the train service infrequently. For travelers who ride SunRail routinely, getting a reusable and reloadable plastic Sun card is the better way to go. Votran, Volusia County's public transportation agency, is providing feeder service to the SunRail station in DeBary. 3 buses transport riders to and from the station from 4:15 to 9 a.m. and 3:15 to 8:30 p.m. Sun cards can be purchased from any ticket vending machine at all SunRail stations. They can be purchased on the internet or from an authorized retailer. For more information and a full schedule of SunRail station stops, please visit sunrail.com.
Many of the items you throw out are not biodegradable and take centuries to break down. Reduce, reuse, recycle are separate but interconnected ideas that minimizes waste and saves money. The process is simple. The best way to reduce waste is to avoid creating it. According to the EPA, on average, Americans each produce over 4 pounds of trash per day. To help reduce trash, switch from plastic to reusable bags. Next, reuse items destined to be discarded. Get creative in reusing trash to reduce waste and save money. Finally, recycling takes items from materials that are discarded and turns them into new products. For example, plastic bottles can be recycled into carpet and benches. Many communities make recycling easy by offering programs such as curbside pickup. Newspaper, plastic bottles, glass, and pop cans are all recyclable items. Reduce, reuse, recycle decreases the amount of waste people create. Help keep our earth clean. Make the choice to reduce, reuse, and recycle today.
One of the largest freight brokerage firms in the country has announced plans to open a location in Daytona Beach. Joanne Magley has more in this week's Business Beat.
Total Quality Logistics, also called TQL, is headquartered in Cincinnati, Ohio. But recently, the company announced it's expanding to Daytona Beach. TQL is described as the middleman of the transportation industry, connecting companies needing products hauled with carriers delivering goods.
TQL, or Total Quality Logistics, is a freight brokerage company. We started in 1997, just 2 individuals, and we are an intermediary, meaning we don't own assets, we don't own the trucks, but we find trucks for companies that are moving mostly truckload freight.
One of the reasons TQL chose Volusia County was because of the available office space ready for a new company to come in and add their own personal touches.
Team Volusia began recruiting the company on August 25, 2014, and proposed buildings throughout Volusia County. Keith Norden, president and CEO of Team Volusia, says Volusia County had a lot to offer.
One of the most important aspects of a location is the availability of labor. Companies come where they can hire people for their facility. So we're very proud that the company chose a Volusia County location based on our availability of trained labor.
TQL also boasts a fun working environment, so workers have a way of relieving stress.
It's a really high energy work environment, very fast paced, there's a lot of action. You know, you think about it, it's kind of a it's sort of like a trading operation, you know, and so, you know, it's not an easy job, though. I will tell you, there's a lot of things that happen. We move 25,000 loads a week as an organization. A lot of it's perishable commodities, you know, so lots of things happen, and we have, you know, to take care of a lot of problems and provide solutions. So it can be stressful. That's why we try to make it fun. You know, that's why we do things, you know, every week and every month throughout the company to try to make sure that everybody's having a good time. You know, you don't see a ping pong table in here yet or cornhole, but you probably will the next time you come here.
The Volusia County Council approved a $60,000 local match for the Quality Target Industry Refund Program, which will assist TQL expansion into Volusia County.
This is an excellent location. This is an excellent project because of the quality of a wage that this company offers Volusia County citizens, because it's over the county's average, and it's $38,606 average wage, which is over 115% over the county's average wage.
TQL Daytona Beach will create 100 jobs and make a capital investment of $600,000. For the Business Beat, I'm Joanne Magley.
Established by Congress in 1914, University of Florida IFAS Extension has been providing solutions for 100 years. We bring research-based information to individuals, businesses, and communities. As part of the land-grant university system, we have experts in every one of Florida's 67 counties. Our educational programs improve lives, build economies, and help protect the state's valuable natural resources. We're committed to providing reliable information that impacts the lives of every Floridian. As Florida continues to grow, UF IFAS Extension will be there to provide practical solutions to Florida's most challenging problems. University of Florida IFAS Extension, solutions for the next 100 years.
And now reporter Stephanie Strong gives us her report from the Volusia County Health Department in this week's Community Health Matters.
What is the state of homelessness in Volusia County?
About 1,500 people, men, women, and children, are homeless on any given day in Volusia County. That includes those that are living in tents, cars, encampments, or other places not fit for human habitation, and those that are living in emergency shelters or transitional housing programs that are provided for the homeless.
According to Lisa Hamilton, there is an increased focus on assisting homeless veterans, those who served their country and are now without adequate housing. Hamilton says there is also a major concern for children who are homeless.
The number of young people showing up at shelters has increased dramatically in the last 10 years. Of course, everyone can understand that as a result of the economic problems our country's had and the unemployment rate faced by young people, more young people between the ages of 16 and 22, that's the federal designation for homeless youth. They know that number has skyrocketed, and youth shelters have been reporting turning away kids.
And it's also a struggle for homeless college students.
We know, for example, that there are many kids trying to make it through college while they're homeless. They're living in cars, they're sharing dorm rooms, they're sleeping on couches, they're doing whatever that they can to get through school. And it's become so prevalent in our country in the last 10 years that there's a term for it. It's called wildcatting.
The Homeless Coalition is involved in special efforts to identify the homeless and organizations to serve them. Help is available.
Volusia County is very fortunate in its provider community. There are 8 organizations that provide housing for the homeless, and those are emergency shelters, transitional housing programs, and also what we refer to as permanent supportive housing for individuals who have severe mental or physical problems and are not going to be able to go back to work and support themselves in an apartment. We have funding that provides lease money for them. And then our agencies provide wraparound case management.
Please call 211 for help or information. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Stephanie Strong, Public Information Officer for the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County.
Well, it's time to head into the studio with the Director of Community Information, Dave Byron, and his guest, John Owens, with the Volusia County Fair.
Well, thank you, Amber, and hi, everyone. The Volusia County Fair and Youth Show is an annual tradition in Volusia County that goes back to the early 1900s. The annual Volusia County Fair today has become one of the premier county fairs in all of the Southeast. This year's Volusia County Fair is right around the corner, so it's a good time to check in with Volusia County's Fair Interim Director John Owens. John, how you doing?
Good afternoon, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's nice to have you, John. A busy time for you, I know.
We're always excited. You know, one day there's not too much going on out there on the fairgrounds.
Right.
And all of a sudden the next day you've got a small city up there.
No question. Hey, I said that the fair goes back to the early 1900s. Give us a little history lesson on how the fair got started.
Well, 1923 was really the first year of the fair. And during the war years, there was an interruption in it. We're showing 71 years actually as a history on the fair. And Mr. Bill Hester over at the Farm Bureau is the reason the fair is back today and as prosperous as it is, because he actually supported it and got it and brought it back when after it had gone out because of the war and some of those times. So,
if I'm not mistaken, the original site of the fair was way out there on the west side of DeLand. By the railroad tracks.
It was.
And then it moved, I think, sort of to the YMCA area in DeLand.
You may know more about that history than me, Dave.
But today, you have a modern campus on the east side of DeLand.
Well, and thanks in large part to the county and helping us with the buildings and the landscaping and that whole plan that took place in 1998. It's really made a big difference in how this fair operates and the perception of the people that come out to the guests, all of our guests that come out to the fair.
And I know every year you and the Fair Board, you try to make improvements to the infrastructure itself. I think you were telling me one of the new things this year is you got Wi-Fi out there
We
this
have
year.
Wi-Fi out there, and it doesn't cost you extra to get on it. And you know, we want you shooting video and putting it up on the internet and taking pictures. And we've got a lot of things out there this year that you can do that with.
John, obviously the Volusia County Fair, one of the bigger and one of the more reputable fairs in all of the Southeast United States. How many people does it take to put this thing on?
Whew, that's a good question. We probably, when we've got all our volunteers and everything else, you're probably looking at 200, 250, 300 people. That in total that really help and put this fair together.
And really, it's if you will, almost entirely a volunteer effort. I know you're a paid director and you have a small staff and so forth, but really, you have a board of directors and a bunch of volunteers.
They're all volunteers except for a small staff. Exactly. We have a couple of maintenance people and a couple of us in the office. You're right.
You know, typically people kind of refer to the fair as the county fairgrounds. But actually, there's multiple owners out there. Tell us how that works.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. There's a couple of misconceptions.
Yeah.
First of all, the Volusia County Fair Association is actually a 501c3.
Right.
Independent
nonprofit.
It is not owned by the county.
Right.
And that's a perception when and then we have the Farm Bureau. The Volusia County Farm Bureau owns a piece of that property. The county itself, where the Ag Extension is,
right.
They own a piece of the property, and the Volusia County Cattlemen's Association owns another piece of it. We're the largest landowner out there, the Fair Association. But you're right, there's four people, and it's all referred to as the Volusia County Fairgrounds.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you that question, John, because you know, there is confusion out there, and when they say Volusia County Fairgrounds, some people think that's a tie back to Volusia County government. You don't get any subsidy from Volusia County.
No, and that's what I was referring to. We get called sometimes, Dave. People think they ought to be able to get in free because, well, I pay our taxes.
Right.
And you know, I wish we could say that's fine, but the county really has nothing to do with that other than helping us with the building bond issue when we got the buildings in there. The association with the county is very good. It's symbiotic, and it's a very good relationship. But we get nothing from the county relative to support. Yes.
John, obviously it's the Volusia County Fair and Youth Show because the emphasis is on the kids.
Absolutely.
Going back to the early days of the fair, as I understand it, its original intention, I guess, was to showcase the agriculture in the county.
Well, and it still is. I mean, this is still, there's a shift going on in this industry, Dave. And I do a lot of the marketing, so this is where it really affects it, probably more than anything else. But traditionally, the county fairs across the country were an agricultural event with an entertainment element.
Right.
That's kind of switched. It's now an entertainment event with an agricultural element.
Right.
But the agricultural element at the Volusia County Fair is very strong with our 4-H and our FFA. As a matter of fact, it is so strong that a lot of the kids that show here, when they go down to other fairs in other parts of the country or other parts of the state, the other kids are looking up to them because these kids are winning awards.
Of course, it's not just for the kids. You've got a lot of activities for adults as well. You know, you got a lot of people out there that like to showcase their baked goods, their canned goods, their sewn quilts, and that sort of thing.
And that's big. That's a community arts building, and again this year we're loaded. We're setting records on some of the stuff that's coming in there.
Right.
From our table settings and our baked goods and our quilts, and we've got a young lady that's in charge of the building new this year, Nancy Schweitzer, who's just really done a remarkable job up there.
And of course, right off the bat, about the first day the fair is open, you crown a fair queen, and that's an honor for a young person in Volusia County.
It is, and that happens opening night. We have the Miss Volusia County Fair competition at 7:30, right after opening ceremonies. That's inside the Tommy Lawrence Arena. And this year we've added another contest that comes up about 8:30. It's the Mr. Volusia County Fair competition.
So we're going both ways this time.
Absolutely.
Now. That's awesome, John. I mean, and that's a big honor for the Fair Queen to reign over the fair for the 10 days. And what happens after the fair? Do they represent the fair for the rest of the year?
Yes, they do. If we're doing parades or we have events that come up, and they need her to show up, that's part of her responsibility.
You know, the midway and the rides and so forth is a big aspect of the Volusia County Fair. Who's providing the midway?
Well, Degler Attractions has been doing it for years. Degler Attractions is probably one of the premier carnival ride providers in the country.
Right.
Because I've seen a whole bunch of them, and we're really proud to have this group in there. Their safety record is tremendously good. They're honest. They run a really clean operation, and they're always willing to help anybody with any kind of a problem. Loved working with them.
I want to stick with that safety just for 1 second. You know, I think it's on a lot of people's minds to make sure those rides are put together properly and so forth. My understanding is before those rides can operate, they're inspected.
They are. We have a state inspector. I go out as well as the carnival operator, and we walk that entire midway. And in keeping with that, the incidents, people hurt on carnival rides at fairs in this country, I think there was 44 injuries last year.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, there was like 40,000 hurt with golf carts.
Well, I can believe that.
So I mean, the safety record is really good, and a lot of it has to do because of the inspection process.
If you ever saw me play golf, you're not safe in the cart. Hey, so tell us what other entertainment you've got.
Well, on the 14th of September, we have John Anderson coming in at 8 o'clock. Now, these concerts are free with your admission to the fair.
Right.
And a special guest with John will be a lady by the name of Susan Rose, and she's a singer-songwriter who's also a lighting director. She's been on the road with Ringo Starr for the last 12 years, and that's where she is right now. Then on Tuesday, which is seniors night, 55 and older get in for, we open at 11, and they get in for, 55 and older get in for $8 that day until 7 o'clock. But that night we've got two shows, one at 4, one at 7, with the Crystals and the Coasters.
Wow, those are throwbacks to the
they are.
50s and 60s.
They're great. That's going to be a great show. On the first Saturday, we have 93.1 Coast Country, and their band is going to be in the arena, along with Patrick Gibson, who's going to be and you can see this right if you just go up to VolusiaCountyFair.com. It's all up there online.
And what does it cost to get into the fair, John?
It costs is $10 for adults. It's $5 from 6 to 12, and under or 5 and under are free.
Okay.
Now, having said that, right now you can go to Walgreens, get advanced ride and gate tickets. You can get a great deal on ride tickets that's $15.
Wow.
They're good any day except the Tuesday, which is $2 ride night.
Wow.
The gate ticket for an adult is $8 at Walgreens right now, and $4 for the kids. So you can save a lot of money doing that. Opening night is a free gate. That means you don't pay anything to come in there.
Wow.
Which makes it really nice. Last year we had a record crowd. We had over 26,000 people show up on opening night.
Wow. And you're looking for attendance, fingers crossed, good weather. You're looking for what in terms of attendance?
Oh, I'd like to see 180,000 or 200,000 people show up.
Wow, that would be awesome. Of course, the key to it is having that great weather.
And we're doing something new. Yeah, it is. I can't control that. We have added the West Volusia Saddle Club is coming in with a demonstration drill team up in the rodeo arena this year, thanks to the Cattlemen's Association letting us use that. So they'll be doing shows almost every night. And the last Saturday, the 14th, there's barrel racing going on up in the rodeo arena. Yeah, so there's some new activities going on up there.
So John, the fair starts when and ends when?
It opens November 5th. It's a week from this Thursday.
Okay.
And it closes on the 15th, Sunday the 15th of November.
Wow. And you got that website again. What's that URL?
VolusiaCountyFair.com.
Well, John, I want to wish you and the men and women that are putting the fair on a really great fair. It's a great activity every year in Volusia County for the whole family.
Thank you so much for having me.
Our guest today is John Owens. He's the interim director of the Volusia County Fair and Youth Show. And with that, we'll go back to you, Amber.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can always feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council's meeting calendar there too. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osmond. Have a wonderful evening.